Hi, I'm Daryl, cloud engineer, specializing in AWS. I do some DevOps tasks too, like automating infrastructure deployment and optimizing workflows. So yeah, that's the short background of me. Okay, so for this project, we're going to build an automated easy to state change alert. So this system monitors the instance state change, such as launch, start, stop, reboot, and terminate. And it will going to send us an email via SNS. So for the architecture diagram, so we have a single account architecture here. So um, we have a single AWS account that will be going as a sample implementation on this project. So what we have is the Amazon EC2, which will be the source of event. And we have the AWS CloudTrail, which will record the API event. And we have event bridge rule. This one will going to trigger the Lambda function based on the specific event from the AWS CloudTrail. And for the Lambda function, so this one will process the event and prepares a message. And for the Amazon SNS or simple notification service, this one will deliver the email to the end user. And for the next one, this is the multi-account architecture. So this is pretty similar with the single account architecture. So what we have here is that let me zoom in. So what we have here is example we have multiple accounts. So we have production account, QA, and dev account. So per account we have the source of event, which is the instance, and Cloud Trail service for the recording of the events, API events. And we have here the which is one is the event event bridge rule. It will going to send the event data to the Lambda function, which resides in the shared service account. So what we did here is to compress or create a single point for the processing of the event. So we created it in the shared service account. So as we can see here, all of the architecture for the account is pretty similar, even in the shared service account, up to the EC2, AWS Cloud Trail, and the Event Bridge. The only different is the shared services holding the Lambda function, which will going to process the events from the different account and then prepare the message to be sent to the Amazon SNS, which will be delivered via email. So yeah, so that's the multi-account architecture. Okay, for the features of this one, so this one will monitor the easy to state change, such as these events, launch, start, stop, reboot, and terminate. And this one will send notification through SNS with details about the state change. And we're going to configure also the event bridge to trigger on EC2 state change captured by the Cloud Trail. And for the prerequisites, of course, we need AWS account for this one, and IAM roles with the appropriate permissions for the Lambda, basic knowledge of AWS services such as IAM, EC2, Lambda, CloudTrail, SNS, and Event Bridge. So all of this is the one that we needed to build this project. For the deployment, it's either AWS CLI or console for setup, but I think we need to add the Terraform here too. But for this one, we're going to use the console for setup. Okay, so why these services? So yeah, why are we going this why we pick these services for this project? So I think the short answer for that one is s- most of these services is using the free tier, and of course in building such alerting or system using the native services of AWS, we need to also consider the cost that will be spending monthly on using this kind of services of AWS. So most of these services are in free tier. So yeah, I think that's the very short summary of why we use these services. But now we also put here some of the details for the specific service. Setup instruction. So yeah, I think this one is for the hands-on. So what we're going to do is create an IAM role for the Lambda. So basically what we'll be using for this example is pre-created policy or permission of the IAM role, but you can tailor this one or create an what you call that least privilege policy that will be used if ever you're going to use this or set up this on your environment. And we're going to create a Lambda function, create an SMS topic, event bridge rule, configure the cloud run. Okay, so yeah, let's start with creating the IAM role. Okay, so right here, we'll be doing this project in North Virginia. So let's proceed with creating the IAM role. So go to the IAM roles, create role. So for the use case, this one is we're going to choose Lambda since Lambda will going to use the role. So other service cannot use this role, only for Lambda. So for the pre-created, we're going to use this one. If we take if we see the permission for this one, so what we can see is it will just going to create the logs in the CloudWatch for our Lambda. And for the SNS, of course, this policy is for the SNS. Easy to read only access. Yeah, we need this one to kind of describe the details of the EC2. So we're going to discuss that later. Next. Okay, so we have the tree policy here. Then role name. Going to use this role name. Okay. Next. Create role. Okay. Can view the role. Okay. So next is assign this role to your Lambda function under configuration permission. Yeah, we're going to complete this once we created the Lambda function. So we're going to proceed with number two. So we're going to create Lambda function. So let's search here Lambda, then create function. Okay, we don't have a sample name here, so we're just going to put here EC2 state change alert. Okay. So for the runtime, it will be Python and this one. So we're going to use the existing role that we have created and create function. Okay, so with that one, we completed the number pipe from create IAM role. So we assigned the role to the Lambda function. So under configuration permission, yeah, we can validate that here. So where it is right here. Okay, configuration, then permission. So here's the Lambda role that we have created. Okay, next is upload Lambda code from this represent. Okay, to hand. Okay, yeah. So we're going to upload the Python script. So it is here in the script folder. I'm just going to copy this one. Okay. So yep, we're not going to discuss line by line of this Python script. So just the summary of this one. Um, once the event rule, so let's go back on the architecture. Okay. So once the event rule triggered, so the lambda, I mean, once the event rule triggered the lambda function, so there's a data that will be going to send to the lambda function. So that data is the event created from the Amazon instance. So in the Python script, so this is the core function of that one, so the lambda handler. So basically the summary of this script, so it will going to handle um the event based on the event type, or I mean event name. So what we have here is we have the run instance. This one is for the launching or provisioning the instance. We have the reboot, stop, start, and terminate. So if the event is example terminate, so it will be routed to the um, specific function inside this lambda Python script. So uh, in short, there are different kind of function here to handle each specific event, and with that it will going to extract the necessary details from that event created by the um, EC2 instance. So and then after that, um, where it is. So here in the terminate instance, it will going to call the extract message. So on this part extract message function, so on this one it will going to once we have the necessary data like the instance ID, account ID, region, and the event. So this one, what we have here is to describe the details of that instance ID. So we're going to extract the necessary details that will be uh, created in the message body of the email. So what we have here is we're going to have the instance ID, the name tag, the instance type, the platform, and wait is the user who initiated the event, AWS account, um, region, and then the time when the event was triggered. So yeah, so in short, this one process the event and prepare the message to be sent to the SNS service. So okay, so I'm just going to deploy this one. Okay, so next, um, where are we? Upload. Okay. Add appropriate permission for Lambda to create Lambda. Okay, we already did this. Set up Lambda trigger to be the event bridge. Set up the Lambda trigger to be the event bridge rule you created. Yeah, so we're not going to complete this right now, since it is dependent to the event bridge rule which we are going to create later after the SNS topic. So right now we're going to create an SNS topic which will be the which will be the service to deliver the message via email. So on this one, we're going to search SNS. And also, once we created the SNS topic, so we're going to capture the SNS ARN and then put it in the configuration environment variable. So with this one, our Lambda Python script knows where to send the message or what SNS topic to be used for this message. It's just taking some time to load. Okay, so I'm just going to check here. Yeah, so once we created the SNS topic, um, configure subscription. So we're going to subscribe to the topic using our email and ensure the Lambda function has permission to publish. Yeah, this one is okay. Oops, wait. Okay, yeah. So if we don't have uh if it is our first time to create a topic, so this is how the dashboard looks like. But if we have already have the topic, it looks like this one. We're going to see the different created topic here. So we're going to create topic, and this will be a standard topic. So for this one, we're going to name it AC2. Oops, I think it's still loading. Let me reload it. I think I'm gonna pause this one since it's taking time. I think I have an issue with my what's this? Oh, I think it's some kind of bug. Reload. Let me just pause this one, and I think I have an issue with my internet connection. Okay, welcome back. I think it's working now. So I don't know what happened. Okay, so let's name this topic for EC2 date change alert topic. Okay. So display name uh EC2 date change alert. So this one will be the what we're going to see in the email. So right now we're going to create this topic. Okay, so next is configure the subscription. So we created the topic, we need to configure the subscription. So right here in the subscription, create subscription. The protocol will be as we can see here, there are different kinds of protocol to mark as the destination of the or endpoint to subscribe of this topic. But on this one, we're going to use the email, and we're going to put the email here. One. Up. Then create subscription. Okay, so as we can see, the status is in pending confirmation, meaning we need to confirm this on our email. So let's check. Reload. I think it could going to be here. Yeah, this one. So as we can see, easy to state change alert. So that is the display name for this one. So just need to click the confirm here. Oops, it too bright. Okay, so just going to close this one. So let's click the alert topic and see if the status change. Yep. So for our email, it is now confirmed. So if we wanna try to confirm, we have a way to test this one, like publishing a message to test if we really received the message. But we're going to test it in the Lambda later. So I think we are good with the number three. We created the SNS topic. Um, we configure the subscription, ensure the Lambda function has the permission to publish message to the SNS topic. Yeah, we already did that one. So um, can check it here. Configuration, permission, and look for the SNS. This one by yes, we can see here. It's all resources, meaning it allow all the resources, all the action with SNS, it is all allowed. So remember, we uh, add here Amazon SNS full access. So we are good with that one. Okay, for the next one is to create an event bridge rule. So, okay, so we need to go to the event bridge. This one. After we created this, I think we can mark this number four of Lambda function completed since this is dependent to the event bridge rule. Okay, so we are here on the event bridge and we're just going to look for rules and then create rule. Then rule name, it will be EC2 state change rule. Description, it's optional. We can skip that. And next, then, okay. So select the CloudTrail event. Yeah, I think we're just going to do it here. So Okay, for the events of this rule, so we're just going to choose the event source as AWS events. And for the event pattern, we're going to filter the specific pattern. So we're going to choose the EC2 service. So with that one, we're going to look, or the event type will be the API call via CloudTrail. So as we can see here, I created the event pattern with the event source EC2.amazon. For the specific operations, we're just going to put here the different kind of event name. So for the provisioning, we have run instances. We need to be careful here if the specific operations is uh, incorrect. So we'll not able to trigger the event rule. We need to add to start instances. So I think we're just going to copy the details here. This one. Okay, just to be sure, add start instances, add reboot instances, add terminate instances. Okay, then I think we're good here. We can click next. And for the target, so this is our lambda function. So I'm just going to put here lambda function right here. Then the ARN. So we're going to look for the lambda function that we created. This is one. Then we can untick this one. We don't need the permission. Click next, then next. Okay, create rule. Okay, so we created the rule here, and it is enabled. So we can see here the event pattern is it will look for event name from the event source. It is EC2 Amazon AWS.com, and then the event name we have run instance stop start reboot terminate, and then the target will be the lambda function. This is the ARN of the lambda function that we have added. Okay, so yeah, I think we have this one. We're not we're not uh complete this. It's pending. So set up the lambda trigger to be the event bridge rule you created. So in the lambda function, so we need to set up the trigger for this lambda. So we're just going to add the event bridge or the event rule that we have created. So existing, this one. So as we can see here, these are the event pattern. Click add. Okay, so this is created. The code is here. You have the code here. Yeah, okay, we have the code. Then I think we are good with the create event bridge rule. Yeah, we set the rule to trigger. Okay. Configure cloud trail. Yeah, so in order to trigger the event bridge, so we need to have an event. So that event is stored in the cloud trail. So yep, so we're going to go to the cloud trail service, then create the trail. So enable logging for management events. Okay. So we're going to search for CloudTrail. So as we can see here, track user activity and API usage. So any activity within the AWS account is recorded here. So even if we're just example, there is an instance or example, this one, we're trying to um just checking for a specific policy. If we click this policy, it is going. I mean, it is calling an specific API, and it is recorded in the CloudTrail. So for this one, we click the Amazon SNS full access. So we're expecting that it is recorded in the event history. And also to add, um, CloudTrail is not real time. It is near real time. So we're going to expect here like 5 to 15 minutes before we see the recorded event here. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to create the trail here. This one, click the trail, then click create trail. So we're going to name this um my trail, or yeah, my trail. Then storage location. So we're just going to create a new S3 bucket here. So for this one, the S3 bucket will be used for storing the logs. So for the sake, since this is just some kind of laboratory, so not going to enable that one. But it is recommended to have a KMS for the encryption of the data stored inside the S3 bucket. Log file validation. So we're just going to make it simple. Okay, so for the events, we're going to choose the manage events and read write activity. Okay, we're good with that one. Just click next. Then create trail. Okay, so we created the trail. Okay, so verify the cloud trail. Yeah, we can verify that later. So um yeah, I think we're good now. We completed the setup for 5 steps. So the next one is what's the usage. So once the setup is complete, the event bridge rule will automatically trigger the Lambda function when an EC2 instance state changes. So example, if there's instance that being launched, started, stop, or any event from that, the Lambda function will send a notification via SNS, including the following details. Yeah, okay. So I think we have the sample SNS here, so we're just going to test it. So we're going to uh, provision an EC2 instance. So let's search for EC2, then launch instance. So right here, let's say my server. Then we don't need to choose any specific AMI or configuration. We uh, configure this as is right now. We'll just need to proceed without key pair. Then I think we're good here. Just launch this instance. Okay, so successfully. Okay, so I think we're going to check the cloud trail first in the event history. So we're going to look for that specific event. So as we can see here, we're not seeing it yet. So we're going to filter it event name. So run instances for provisioning. And in on our email, uh, we don't have any email yet since yeah, as I said earlier, so it takes some time. This cloud trail is not real time, it's near real time. So there's some delay here processing the data on the AWS side. And aside from that, we can check the logs in the Lambda function. So right here we can go to the monitor, then view CloudWatch logs. So this is the use of the one of the permission that we've attached in the Lambda role. This one, the Lambda basic execution role. So we're giving permission for the Lambda to create a log file for every execution of the Lambda function. So apologies for this one. It's just I think this is on my internet side. It's taking some time to load. I think I'll just gonna pause here. Yep. Hello. Welcome back. So yeah, I think we from the event history. So as we can see here, we already have the logs for provisioning the instance. So if we see this event name and check for the JSON event record. So what we're going to see is this one. So remember we uh, created the instance with name tag my server. So this is it. So the event name is already recorded. So we're expecting that we should receive the an email with that one. But as per checking here, so we're not seeing any email yet. So we need to investigate this one. So maybe we skip some configuration here. So what we're going to do here is check in the monitoring logs for the um, Lambda function. So right here. So we just go enable to go here. So we just need to go to the CloudWatch logs from the Lambda function, click the monitor and go to the view CloudWatch logs, then right here. So here's the logs for that event earlier. So as we can see here, there's an error, SNS topic. So yeah, I think we forgot to add the SNS ARN in the Lambda function. So right here, you need to check it in the configuration event variables. Yeah, we don't have the details here. So which is why we did not receive an email. So what we're going to do is configure it. So um, we'll need to copy this one SNS topic ARN and go to the configuration, environment variables, edit, add it here. Then the value will be the SNS topic, this one. You need to copy the ARN, then paste it here, then save. Okay, so with that one, we retest the instance. So since we already provision it, I think one event that we can do is to stop the instance or reboot. I think this is much faster. Reboot. Successful initiated rebooting. So with that, we'll check the event history again, then filter the specific event name, reboot instances. We don't have the event. Let's wait for some minute here. We can check also the resource name. So based on the um, instance ID, so we have here 02B6. If we check here, 02, I think we, okay. So we have the reboot instance API here, API event name. So as we can see, if we scroll down, uh, so this is my user EC2 right here. This is the event name, reboot instance. So this is the instance name, 02B6. Yeah. Okay. So let's check if we have the email. I think we received the email here. So right here. So as we can see, EC2 instance rebooted. So this is the instance name. This is our this is the tag name tag of the instance, and it is T2.micro Linux initiated by cloud user. This is our AWS account, region, and then the time when the reboot executed. So let's check if it's really a T2 micro. Yeah, it's a T2 micro, and the platform is, let's see the platform where it is. Platform, this one, Linux Unix. Okay. So since you're okay with reboot, let's try to stop the instance. Let's um let's test all the different events. So stop instance. So while waiting for the instance to be stopped, let's check in the cloud function. Let's check the logs. So go to the monitor and view CloudWatch logs. Then let's refresh. Okay, so click here. So there's a lot of logs here. So I think we have right here stopping. But yeah, I think you get the point here. So um if ever we implemented this, we're not able to if ever we did not receive. So this is one of our source of truth to check um what if there are errors or something like that encountered. So we'll need to check the logs. So let's check the status. Okay, so it's already stopped. So if we check in the event history, we should see stop instances. Yes, as we can see, I think this is the server. Let's find 02B6 instance ID. Um yeah, 02B6. So as we can see here, so in the event record, I think we're not seeing any kind of name tag here, right? So which is why we need to have permission to describe the instance. So enable to get the name tag. So let's check in the email. So right here, so EC2 instance is stop. So this is the instance ID, name, T2 Micro. So yeah, so the server is already stopped. So let's try to start it. And click for the event history. So let's remove the filter here. As we can see here, there's a lot of API calls or API event here, right? So it's better if we filter it. So what action we did start? Okay, so start instance, refresh. Yeah, so it's taking some time. Let's try to check the email. Hey, I think it's already recorded here. So what time it is? 18. So 12:52 a.m. in UTC. So if we check here, um, plus 8. So I think 8. Yeah, it's right here. This one, huh? 23, 28. What action here? So start instance. So time, yeah, this one. Same time, 52. Um, yep. So we have three events. So reboot, stop, and start. So next is we're going to terminate this instance. Well, it's still initializing. Yeah, I think it's the status checks. It's taking some time. Okay, so we're going to terminate this instance. Terminate. Then let's see in the email right here. It's still shutting down. This is not on the event for terminate, so it's shutting down. So which is why we're not able to receive yet an email. And while waiting for this, I think we can go to. I mean, we can proceed with launching an instance since we're not able to see that event earlier since we missed to configure the SNS, right? So it's already terminated, but yeah, let's proceed with launching. So my server too. So let's pick different AMI. Then no need to have that. Then yeah, no need to add or configure other parameters. We'll just proceed with launching this one. And for that, okay, so it's already launched. Let's check here. So then with that, we're going to check in the email, refresh. Oops, we already have the launching of the Windows server, but we don't have the terminate. Right? So it seems like um our event rule are not able to capture that, or yeah, let's try to troubleshoot that. But for the launching or provisioning the instance, we were able to capture it. So as we can see here, the name tag is my server 2, and the AMI or the platform is Windows server. So what we're going to check now is why we're not able to see the terminate notification. So the one thing that we need to verify is in the event history, but I'm pretty sure that it's here. Terminate instances, right? I think this one. Um, yeah, 0 to B6. This is the event name for that. So the next thing that we'll need to check is the event rule configuration. Maybe we're not able to come add the correct filter. So event, no, let's check for event bridge rules. Click here, terminate in, as we can see here, right? There's no n instances, so it should be instances. So I this is the culprit of the issue. So the reason why we're not able to receive an email because the event bridge, we're not able to see this kind of event name because there's no event name that spelled like this one. So we need to update this. And I think I need to update this one. I just copied it here. This one need to update this. But first, edit this one. Should be instances. Yep. Then next um function. This one. Next, next. So double check. Run instance. Stop instance. Start. Reboot. Terminate instances. Okay. Update. Then, okay, since we have one running server here, we're going to terminate this one. Let's try to check the email. Oops, looks like we received the email here. So, EC2 instance terminated. So this is the instance details, my server 2, T3 micro, Windows. Yeah, so looks like we've completed um I mean we're able to receive all the five event name. So our setup is working as expected. So yep, where are we now? So on the usage, so yeah, we already completed the setup. The event bridge rule automatically trigger the Lambda function when an EC2 instance state changes. So we are able to see the different events, and the Lambda function also able to send a notification. So this includes, as we can see here in the sample SNS notification, we were able to see these details. So let's move with the cost consideration. So yeah, so um, for these services that I think this one is related to the why this service. So I think this one will going to answer that. So cost considerations, as we can see here on the cloud trail. So free for the management events, but charges apply for data events and advanced features. So yeah, for the management events, that's all. I mean, that's the thing that we just need in the cloud trail. We just need to have event record in the cloud trail, right? So with that one, that is free, and the only thing that we need to pay is the S3 bucket where the logs is stored. So I think we have the cost breakdown here. So for the cloud trail, so pricing details, management events is free. We're just paying for the S3 storage cost. So I think this one is for standard storage tier. So we have 0.023 per gig. So we have example usage here. So for example, for 500 events, so it is approximately 300 MB lags, and the cost will be estimated cost for the month is this one. And I think we can add some life cycle rule here, like, or yeah, life cycle rule to every month will delete the lags, something like that. And event bridge. So for the event bridge, charge per million events published and match. So for this one, event bridge, so uh, if we have 1 million events, so example, yeah, the events like the different kind of events, the start, stop, something like that. So if ever we reach 1 million, so it will cost us $1 for that one. So I think that's pretty reasonable and um, cheap, since within a month, are we going to just like stop, start, reboot the servers? So yeah, it really depends on our environment. But with this one, it's pretty cheap for this one. So example, we in a month well, we have like example 1,000 servers, or I think that's OP. We have 100 servers, and we perform patching within a month. So example, within a month, we perform patching on different kinds of environment, patching for the second week, we perform patching in dev, the next week QA, the next week in the production. So it really depends on how or how many servers we have. But it's for me, it's this one is cheap for million of events. Remember, this is not regarding with the event that is being recorded. It is only for publish and match. So what we're using here in the event bridge rule is match. So if we have 1 million event match, so that's only the time that we're being billed for this one. For the Lambda, so we have $0.20 per 1 million requests after the pre-tier. So I believe for this one, so right here, so charge based on the execution time and memory use. So just remember here for the Lambda, the maximum execution here is 15 minutes. If we have execution more than that, Lambda is not applicable with that design. So, but on this one, 1 million execution. So for the free tier, we have 1 million free, and I believe every month that is being reset. So I think this is pretty reasonable. Within a month, are we going to for this kind of alerting? Are we going to reach the 1 million event for that one? I think yeah, we're not going to reach that. So we're putting here zero. So within free tier. So for the SNS, so same logic with the Lambda. So for the per million published after the pre-tier. So for the first 1 million published, that is free. And for after that, so if ever we have 1 million published, so we're being charged for 0.50, and that's pretty cheap for this one. So we're using the email delivery since that one is free. For the other delivery like SMS, I think there is a cost for that one. So right here we're putting zero. So for this setup, the estimated total cost is 0.006. So yeah, that's for our estimated cost on this setup. And just remember that this cost is subjected to change within the specific region because every region has the different costing. And for the next one, enhancement feature improvements. Yeah, so we can add a detailed notification here. Any additional metadata needed and instance tags or cost estimation. Yeah, I think we can add cost estimate here. Like example, we provisioned R5 type of instance, and we can see the monthly cost for that one. Infrastructure as a code. Yeah, we can definitely set up this via IAC. And for the references, yep, we put the reference here for the CloudTrail, Event Bridge, all the different kind of services that we use to build this project. So, yep, I think that's all. For this one, we covered all the steps here. If ever you have a question, just shoot an email or any suggestion or any additional enhancement that we can add to this one. Just let me know. Yeah, again, thank you for watching this uh project of mine.